Hey sluts, I'm Aubrey, an Aquarius sun, Scorpio moon, Taurus rising.
And I'm Danny, a Sag sun, Leo moon, Libra rising.
And
we're your Astro Sluts.
Here for another episode. Today it's all about Leo. And
Well,
every day.
I was going to say, well, lucky for them. It is their lucky day. I bet they haven't listened to a single other episode.
That's so true.
And they're just tuning in for the
They've
first
been
time
waiting.
now.
Well, we're happy to have you now. And for those who are just fans, we are also happy to have you.
Leos are summer babies. Their season is typically from July 23rd to August 22nd. So kind of right in the midst of the summer vibes here. Their symbol is the lion.
Mm-hmm.
Famously, if you think of that gorgeous, gorgeous mane, it might resemble a Leo in your life.
Lions are also like, aren't they like called, like they live in a pride?
Yeah.
Like they're very prideful. They're like king of the jungle.
Yeah,
Is that what they say?
I was going to say like king of the, but it is the jungle.
The jungle.
Yeah.
So very like main character energy,
Yeah.
very confident, bold, loud, loves a roar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, you know, very cat-like.
Mm-hmm. Very much. They are famously a fire sign. So, of course, they have a little heat to them, but they also have that like creativity that we see amongst the fire signs as well. And there are fixed fire sign here in the heat of the summer, essentially.
Fixed signs are super stubborn, super like headstrong, very much like their way or the highway. The other fixed signs are Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So I think people like just like pop astrology doesn't really talk about like the modes like that. So you don't like necessarily think of those four signs as like having much in common, but there is a through line there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it'll all start to come together as we like finish out this series of all the signs, but like it really like if you even just take like the element and then the mode, like it does just build out such characters. Like you could start seeing like we did Aries already and they're the cardinal, so they have that like intense flame spark energy. Like the Leos, they're like the cardinal sign, so they have that fixed fire energy. Like it does just like I feel like it is like a very simple way to like just like think about those two things. What do those words mean? And like it does give you a pretty good description of that sign.
Yeah, these like basic facts that we're going through like really are all of the things about Leo. Like anything you hear about Leos is like
comes from one of these things. Yeah.
Leo's planetary ruler is the sun, very much the center of the universe. It's big and bright and hot.
And everyone revolves around it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's also just a quick note, if you have like a Leo rising, then the sun is your chart ruler.
I also like something I never thought of, but like obviously when I was just like reading some articles to give me some Leo inspo, they were saying, someone said like the sun never is retrograde, which I think also goes into that fixed energy of like the stability, the loyalty. Leos are super loyal, which I feel like doesn't always come up in like conversation. But I think that is also like a nice way to think about that.
Your sign's like planetary ruler also just has like holds a little extra weight. So if of course you're like a Leo sun, then like that's your sun, but like it means like your ego and like your identity is like more important to you than it is other people. So I think that's like where Leo gets some of that like self-centered rep. It's just because like Leos have a really strong sense of self, and their like core of who they are is like they're happy to let it show.
No, that's a great point.
Leo rules the 5th house of your chart, which is the house of creativity, of children, of like casual sex and dating.
Yeah, very like fun, pleasure. I saw someone recently say like inner child too, which I think is like a nice way to think about it, but like very creative spaces, imaginative space, playful, all that kind of like energy lives in that fifth house.
Yeah.
I have a fifth house stellium.
Which creation,
Yeah.
loves to make things.
Yeah.
But then also like creation as in like procreation. Very much is Leo.
Yeah.
Leo rules the body parts of the heart, spine, upper back, and spleen. I think heart is a big one. They're like very loving, very loyal.
Yeah, like truly like heart-centered people.
Yeah. Very like nurturing as well, which I think sometimes comes in like roar, protect the pack way. Yeah. But then it's also like I'm imagining like this must be in the Lion King or something. I'm imagining like a big like sloppy tongue lick, but in like a mother lion type of way, totally. Like cleaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cleaning your cubs.
It is another one of Hercules or Heracles slays, if you will.
Yes, I will.
I believe it's the first one was the lion.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah. I've just been thinking about like how it is so interesting, like how fire signs are like each the own center of their universe in like different ways, if that makes sense.
Say more.
Or like how that manifests for them. So like I feel like how we were talking with like Aries and that kind of like golden retriever energy, or like feeling really like important within like scenarios and situations, or like overestimating that importance. I feel like for Leos, like it's like if you go out with your Leo friend, like they're always going to sit in the booth. You know what I mean? If you go to a concert with your Leo friend, like they're going to stand in front of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like because like, and they don't mean it as like, they're like, well, obviously I would get the better spot. Yeah. Obviously, like they would want to give me this better opportunity. You know what I don't think it's like, it's not ill intentioned. It's not like, it's just like, no, like obviously that one's for me.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
This like confidence and like being unapologetic about like getting your needs met or like being comfortable. Like, yeah, I do think fire signs have this like ability to be present.
Yeah.
And like very like the fire is burning here. The fire is never burning like tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
Which I think me as like so like lots of air placements. I'm thinking so much.
Yeah.
And like fire signs, like they're not.
No. Yeah, totally. We mentioned this earlier, but like it is like Leos are like true romantics.
Yeah.
Like very much like they want the like oversized life-size bouquet of roses, and they want the balloons that say, will you be my girlfriend? You know what I mean? And like they want like the show and the grand gesture, which I think again, like if you just think of Leo, you're like selfie, self-centered, like hot girl energy or whatever, like, but they like deeply like, I think it's just like they want like the grandioseness shown that they feel or that they like can give to someone, like shown back to them kind of thing, and also want to be able to be like a little bit loud about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something else that honestly we haven't talked about in our last few episodes, but you can also learn a lot about a sign by looking at the like opposite sign. So like the opposite of Leo is Aquarius, which is like so like
the
good
group.
Yeah, very group oriented.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I'm going with this, but like Aquarius is very group and Leo is very like me. But it's also like Aquarius is so individual for the group.
Yeah.
But it's in like and like so is Leo, but it's in like opposite ways. I can't figure out how to say that right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like, because it's like not in like a romantic sense that like Aries Libra is self versus others. You know what I mean? But it's like if Leo is like making and creating and bringing pleasure, for like the self almost. I feel like it's like Aquarius does that in like structural. Okay, so maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like Aquarius is like in structural ways trying to like better and make community and things, whereas like Leo's doing it like through creation and through self-discovery and through nurturing children. And it's like, but it has this like, both have this sense of like care for others, but then but think, also the self is very important to both.
Yeah, I think Aquarius is like, let's do what's best for everyone so that I can be my most individual self. And Leo is like, I am going to be my most individual self in order to be the best for everyone.
Have a good time. Yeah, right? Like everyone's going to be down for the ride.
It's
kind
like,
of thing.
It's like, I feel like there's like that wormhole is like self-expression.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like one starts with the macro and like ends up being micro, and Leo is like starting on the micro to like
go to
macro.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I like that.
Celeb examples.
Oh, I have one more thing
to let's say. Let's hear it.
There has never been a Leo without a hater. Leos always have a hater. Leos always have beef.
Yeah. I love that. Why not?
You know, whether it's in their head or in reality, Leos always have a hater.
No, that's so true. I mean, I think it is like back to the lion. Can't get over the lion today. You're going to hear about lions a lot.
I love it.
It's like so primal. It's like they're really connected on that like that fight or flight. Like never let your guard down, you know?
Totally.
Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
Very catnap.
For sure.
Also, lions sleep like a ton of the day.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, now celeb examples.
Yes.
My first category, pop girly, Dua Lipa, and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Very just like, and this is like all my celeb examples. These are all just people that like, well, okay, something else we haven't talked about is like positive and negative manifestations of Leo energy. Because I think that's like what people don't get about astrology a lot is that like, oh, well, I know two Leos and they're like so different. And it's like so, it's like, it's like the nurture versus nature like debacle. Like your birth chart is nature, and then like whatever you become is nurture. Like it could go a lot of different ways. So I do think like Dua Lipa is like, so like she doesn't have to do much to be the main girl.
I mean, I've always been a Dupalia.
Yeah.
I hate her. Clearly. I didn't even mean to be funny. Dua Lipa. I shouldn't say I hate her. I don't actually have anything against her. I just think like literally since the beginning of time, name someone who has given less.
No, yeah,
like
exactly.
I know she shakes her hips a little harder now, but like I'm still not convinced.
Yeah, no, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's just consistently given nothing. I wouldn't call her an artist.
Yeah,
I mean, which is rude to say, I guess, but like, is she? You know, if you listen,
she
you know how
songs.
I feel. Okay. How I feel about her in that Barbie movie.
Oh, yes.
Sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she was a mermaid, but like, what like, I just like, I've never seen her and be like,
doing something.
But like, she's literally like, I mean, people would call her like the biggest pop star. I feel like.
I know. She has a nice voice.
Yeah.
I'll give her that. Has written some hits, but yeah, no, exactly.
Doesn't
she's
have like a POV or like anything interesting about her.
Well, her new album kind of flopped, right?
I think so. I don't know. I'm like, did it come out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was like you probably saw the album art and just literally didn't think twice about it. It's like water. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
No, the album art did not hit. Anyways, this is just a Dua Lipa.
Sorry to Dua Lipa. She's very, very pretty. We saw her at the Soho House
Gorgeous.
pool once. Prettiest person I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah.
So far away, I was like, who is that? That's a supermodel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like,
she's the main
but yeah,
girl.
she's like the star.
And that's the power of being a Leo.
Yeah, I have some stuff to say about J-Lo.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I've been listening to Demois a lot lately. And they were just talking about her like divorce with Ben Affleck. It's obviously like not finalized, but I guess they've signed the papers supposedly, but they're not going to announce it till like end of the summer. But people were saying like he really just like thought that she would be different now, and I think that she probably thought he would be different now. They're both Leos, which is
Jesus
so
Christ.
interesting.
Yeah.
But he really wants to lay low. He's like, we're older now. I don't want to go out. I mean, and she's just like, no, I have to be at every award show. I have to be at every red carpet. I want to be in my sequin jumpsuit. You know what I mean? And I do think it's just like interesting, but talk about like one lion just wants to sleep all day.
Yeah.
And the other lion wants their stardom and their recognition. And I just think that is quite interesting.
But yeah, she's someone that's like really doing a lot to be the center of attention. And really just wants to be the center of attention.
And I feel like people are so mean to her, but it's like someone who will, like again, almost like Dua Lipa, like someone who like people will never not give her the attention, no matter if it's like good or bad or just like making fun of her, whatever. You know what I mean? Like her stuff is never going to flop because even if people don't like it, they're going to talk about it.
Totally. Leo power. Yeah. In a like more fun way, both Sasha Colby and Nymphia Wind are Leos, which is really nice. It makes a lot of sense that like the winners of like a drag race competition like would be Leos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're giving us charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Literally.
Like you've got some like personality. You can like turn it on for the cameras, and you're also just going to be like hardworking and great. Yeah, and beautiful. And Sasha Colby hair. Tracks.
Yeah, literally. Kylie Jenner, famously, great example of a Leo. King Kylie era. So Leo, I mean, literally just talk about trendsetter, talk about it girl.
Yeah. The Leo dress or like the lion dress.
The lion dress, yeah. 2 Halloweens ago, maybe was that last Halloween?
Something.
Or people wore that for Halloween, but last summer maybe. Yeah, just so Leo. She also like has like this season of Kardashians has like a big breakdown about her appearance. Yeah, just super interesting.
I've been seeing that we're filming this in July for those of you listening. I've been seeing so much hate online about her recently. I know. People are over it.
I know. Which I don't know. I get both sides. Like, I mean, I don't know. She does look, I mean, I think she looks really good right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah, I mean, it is also, to be fair, people were making fun of the way she looked when she was like 13. Yeah. How would you not try to change how you looked? But just, I feel like the emphasis on like her outward and appearance and how heavily she takes that and changing her kind of her personas over the years in that way is also just like very Leo. She also was like a mother very young. She has her 2 kids. I feel like she's very protective of her kids. She's like the only Kardashian right now who won't show her kids' faces on social. Too, which I think is interesting.
Yeah. David Dobrik is a Leo.
I feel like, did we bring him up recently? I feel like I've heard you say that name recently too, which is so funny.
Maybe in the Aries episode. Yeah, maybe. I was like, Aries is giving like
no, I think
YouTube prankster. Oh no, it was because I brought up his ex-girlfriend as Liza.
Oh yeah.
Liza was an example for some other sign. Is why we brought him up. Also Barack Obama. Another person that's just like so main character.
Yeah, like such a good speaker, so charismatic, like just like great face.
Really,
great
really
family,
likable.
like very public appealing to public eye.
And I think his like playlist is also very like creative, like loves the arts.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
and was very like with it.
Tom Brady, which I think is just a funny one. Like, if you think about like the roast, like his roast, I watched it, was honestly so funny. But then he like really regretted it after. Like, that's so Leo to be like, I'm gonna sit down and take this, and like you guys can be mean as hell because like it's fine. Like, I'm Tom Brady. And then he was like, I really regret it. Like,
that's crazy.
I guess because of his kids or something. They didn't even talk about his kids. But
interesting.
Yeah, I think it hurt his feelings a bit.
Another just like person that I like is Lil Uzi.
Yeah,
I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
But also super creative, like very much. Something we haven't talked enough about is Leo's like love the drama. It's like the big sun energy, like very spotlight. And I feel like Lil Uzi is always like doing more like characters.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
We're doing concepts where like more so than like other people in their genre.
Yeah, for sure. Martha Stewart, iconic Leo, Sports Illustrated cover star, the oldest ever, selfie icon. Obviously like creative genius, businesswoman, TV star, raking in the brand deals at a rate no one has literally ever seen before.
Impressive.
Good for her.
And also still does have that kind of like motherly quality
for sure
as well.
Yeah.
A terrible example, J.K. Rowling.
Boo.
We hate TERFs. But I do think it's really interesting that I know you're like not a Harry Potter person at all, but the like all the main, well, okay, so Gryffindor is like the house that like Harry and all the main characters are like in Hogwarts, and the symbol for that like house or whatever is a lion. Like a Gryffindor like is like symbolized by a lion. So it is very interesting that like all of those main characters that are in Gryffindor, which is like literally like if you could name them, they're probably
Ron
in
and
Gryffindor.
Hermione,
all Gryffindor, which you're like placed by personality. So I think it's interesting, like most of the characters in that franchise lean really Leo.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and makes sense that like this author would like be able to connect so deeply to so many different characters. It would maybe be interesting to look at her birth chart. But yeah, definitely some like negative manifestations going on within her.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any more?
Madonna and Mick Jagger, just like icons.
Yeah.
Leading faces, stars, timeless.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah, able to like really stick around.
Yeah.
As well. And then a big category of icon, Cara Delevingne, Alex Consani. I don't know how to say her last name.
Yeah, Alex Consani.
Winnie Harlow and Carly Kloss.
Oh wow!
Like insane lineup.
Yeah.
Of tall, skinny girls.
Yeah, totally.
But like definitely like people that are just so iconic.
Yeah.
And especially like, I don't know, all in different ways. I think they're all kind of from like different eras.
Yeah, totally.
But they've all like really been like that girl in like different ways. Like obviously Alex is very like TikTok-y, but like Cara was very like Tumblr, you know, they've managed to be like that girl.
No, totally.
In their era.
Yeah, like even like Alex Consani, like I feel like the origins of her are like just like her being loud as hell in public.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So Leo.
Like, yeah. And then people just being like that. Like, I want that. Like the water swirling, like that video. Like, and it's just like that. like that's it. That's the meme. That's the moment.
Yeah.
Like that's yeah.
Yes, Leos are very much like that friend. Depending on like what your sign is, Leos definitely be that friend that's like low-key embarrassing you in public. Where you're like, oh my God, like everyone in this restaurant is staring at us right now. Like, what are you doing?
It's so funny.
But it's like so funny.
Yeah.
Like they're just like not, they're just like, I'm just not going to be embarrassed.
No. Like we always like send like every time it comes up, like one of my Leo besties and I like send the meme of like in any form where it's like when someone else is like the loudest two in the restaurant, you know, and you're like, because usually it's like one of us like falling off the chair because we were like scream laughing so hard, and then someone else does it and you're like like what are those people all about? Yeah.
Up next, we're gonna do some like TV and movie fictional characters that we think give Leo.
I had like too hard of a time with this.
Really?
I
this one actually came really easy to me. I actually would say I spent the 30 minutes before you came over prepping for this episode, and that was it.
Oh my God.
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Regina George's mom.
Totally.
She is obviously very connected to her youth and her inner child. She wants to be a teenage girl so bad, clearly. But she's also like, I'm obviously imagining her like with the video camera, like she's supportive, but yet she wants to be the star so bad.
Yeah.
Like that kind of duality. Obviously just like that mother, like mom in the juicy sweatsuit. It's just so Leo.
Offering condoms.
Yeah.
Whereas
you guys
like
want snacks?
Right, which is like, so if your like kid was like I don't know, like Pisces or something, you'd be like, Mom, like stop.
Yeah.
Okay, my first one is Jean Milburn in Sex Education. Love Sex Education. She's like so independent and like stubborn, but also really motherly. She obviously has like I almost called it a podcast, whatever. She has like
like the radio show.
Yeah, the radio show.
Yeah.
Like her just whole career is about sex, and like her whole life is like pro sex, like casual sex, like just having fun, like no matter your age or who you are, whatever, and is so like sex positive. That's the word I'm looking for. Also has children, and obviously like their house is so beautiful. Like it's definitely like just has like a creative spirit, and is like just so effortlessly like everything's all about her.
Yeah, totally.
Like even like whatever, like the kid like is going to school and being like, oh my God, like why are you guys all talking about my mom? Like stop.
Literally. Another like kind of giving Regina George's mom, but in the child form, Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka.
Of course.
I want it all and I want it now.
Yeah.
I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it, as Ariana Grande would say. She wants that little squirrel or whatever it is so fucking bad. She goes down a garbage chute for it.
Respect.
And yeah, good for her. She like has all the people, like she wants the golden ticket so bad. She has her dad send like, I don't know, does he open up a factory? He has all his factory workers opening up all the chocolate bars, like just that like
center of the universe
and like fixation on the thing.
Totally.
Like the fixation on the golden ticket and like that, you know, ruling your world until you get it. Very Leo.
Okay, a Game of Thrones example. So, okay, there's one of the like families are the Lannisters, and their crest is a lion. I feel like lions are just like in general like really big with like it's like a big symbol. But so I think there's one person's Jaime Lannister. He's just like very like he's very not like in personality, but like the look is very like Prince Charming in Shrek. Blonde bob, but like not in like a bob way, like in like a hot hot man way. And it's just
like a fuck ass
bob. It's not necessarily a fuck ass bob. More of like a
I see the vision.
But just like so like vain, self-centered, like etc. Like all of those like evil rich man kind of vibes. But I was thinking, I just find it very interesting that their like family crest is this lion, and it's like he's kind of like, you know, one of the like top dogs in like their family, and it's like I think their family like really upholds Leo qualities as being like powerful and good, and I think like the characters that are Lannisters that do not like present as Leo are like the ones that are like really seen as like weak and like not like valued members of their family. Like I think you have to be proud and loud and like confident and like all these things we've been saying.
I have another really like literal one, but Simba,
yes,
from The Lion King, famously sings, "I just can't wait to be king."
Oh, that's a great song, actually.
That was my favorite song when I was younger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My mom would play like all the time, she says, for me.
Everybody look like
so good. But yeah, just a little lion boy trying to make his way growing up.
Love. And my last one is Raven Baxter. Absolutely. She's so loud.
Yeah.
She is so silly goofy.
Yeah.
We were just talking about before. Is always putting on like a theatrical like show. Like anything we need to do. Yes. Run or whatever, jumping through hoops, like so physical. Yeah. She's like, let's, you know, okay, I need to see what this person is doing at this time. Like, I'm gonna dress up as the janitor. Like, okay, like you could just ask them. And she's like, no, it needs to be like this production.
Yeah.
She's like so protective over like her friends and like family. Very like proud and confident, like very determined, like is gonna like speak up for what she believes in and like rally everyone with her. And she is like just very much on the prowl.
Totally.
I was watching just like clips of her when I was prepping, and like I don't know, I low-key want to rewatch all of that. So Raven,
no,
because
I would love to. It's such a good show.
I would maybe say that was my favorite.
I think it was my
Disney
favorite
show.
for sure.
I just think it would also give me a lot of insight, because even just like it was like I watched like a recap, like just the best of Raven Baxter, and she is like so boy crazy.
Yeah.
I think I would get a lot out of like, she literally just like says hi to a boy and he goes, "Hey, Ray," and then walks away, and her friends are literally like, and she turns around and she's like, "Oh my God, can you believe that just happened?" And I was like, that is so mean.
No, totally. She's also like wants to be a fashion designer.
Yeah, so
like,
creative.
She's very creative. I always remember like I just wanted her rooms. Like she had that little attic one, and then I feel like later in the seasons she had like that insane basement room with like the swinging bed. Like I just always loved like her clothes and her aesthetics, like so maximal.
Yeah, just so good. And like of course like just icon, like that's so Raven.
Yeah, literally
so herself.
Like, yeah, so I feel like prevalent still in like all of our lives.
Yeah And also okay, wait, I don't think Raven Simone is a Leo.
Yeah,
I think
I don't know.
I think they're like a Virgo or something, low-key. But it's super interesting that the actor like obviously like that's like
Sag.
Oh okay, fun.
Yeah,
okay, so close. But like very interesting that like on an ego level, like your fictionalized version of yourself is like so close to who you are, like has the same name but different last name. Like that is a very like interesting.
No, that is. And I was telling you about it, but the Miley Cyrus David Letterman interview, and it obviously like different. Miley's a Sag, but too, I guess, actually not but but she was saying it was so hard because you are growing up as Miley Stewart, like Miley Cyrus, same thing. So I feel like it would be a very similar experience. Like she was just saying like I had to do so like or not even so much unlearning, just like learning like what parts of her, because she was like, it's not like there's been a separation, like so much of like Miley the character is just like me now, almost like she's like, it just never like there was no separation of it.
It's like a weird like opposite of method acting. You're like method growing up.
Yeah, literally. Because like even I feel like too, like that would be weird because she also then had Hannah Montana. So it was almost like Miley Stewart was her true self as Miley Cyrus. You know what I mean? It was interesting. She literally said that though. She was like, it was like there was no differentiation between like the character, and it was like, she's like, even still now I like have to be like, okay, like all that learned stuff. And like we don't need to keep talking about her, but also her dad was her dad on the show. Like that would just so be weird. So confusing.
Yeah, that's giving strained father relationship. How could you like possibly maintain that? Well,
they don't speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's like a very interesting like dilemma to have. Feels very like sun sign ego. Like
totally.
Who is your identity? Like you have this fictionalized like Leo version of yourself.
Yeah, literally. I don't really have a last one, but my last one is any man on a reality dating show. I know they're real people, but in my head they're characters and they're all Leos.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, why as a man are you on Love Island?
It's a great question.
That's a really good question.
No, it's something we're not talking about enough.
Why are you on Perfect Match?
They're looking for love.
Right. They're looking for their abs to be on TV. Yeah. They're looking for them to become like a GIF, a meme. Like
they want to have to be able to do even less to get girls.
Yeah. And to me, that is so like the idea of it, I guess not the person, but like the concept
the visibility
of is so Leo.
Yeah. They want to be Dua Lipas.
Totally.
They said, I want to be able to give nothing ever again and everyone be talking about it.
Yeah. Like one of the guys on Love Island season 6 that I've watched episode 1 of twice. I haven't gotten any further. But he literally, his name's Kendall, and he goes, like a Ken doll. Well, no, actually. It's not like a Ken doll, but okay. He's like, I'm literally a Ken doll. Kendall. Like, but it's like that. Like, you just want, like, he's just Ken.
And good for him. Oh, my goodness. Well, our next segment, we're gonna phone a Leo.
Let's get a first-hand account from a Leo.
Get her on the line.
We have our Leo on the line. Do you want to say hello?
I sure do. Hello.
This is one of our favorite Leos in our life. A bestie, a former coworker,
a current coworker.
A current coworker for you. I forgot. Former for me.
I was like,
I went to 3 of us formerly.
Yeah, fair.
Now just the 2 of you. I don't know anything. How else would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, that was pretty incredible. Famously, the 3 of us, ABC, always be collaborating, always be creating. I said that
so true.
But 2 of my very favorite people in the world, my favorite podcast in the world, famously, I have been longtime listener, first time caller, privy to many a taping behind the scenes. Cannot believe that I'm getting my very own soapbox to talk on for a little bit.
Thank you so much for being here.
We're excited. You're our Leo case study, our word of the week.
I hope to do all of the rest of the Leos pretty well. I did meet someone for the first time last weekend, a longtime friend of mine's new partner, and we were like kind of talking, but there was a lot of other people we knew around. So I was mostly catching up with other people who knew me, and she was kind of observing. And after like 10 minutes, she was like, I like hope you don't think that this is weird, but what's your sign? And I was like, oh my God, no, now we can be friends. Thank you so much for opening the door into like normal conversation. I'm a Leo. She's like, oh my gosh, I knew it. Me too. When's your birthday? It's like July 29th. She's like, mine's July 30th. And then like the like walls went down and everyone around us ceased to exist. And we like went into this synergistic Leo chamber of just like, what is your favorite thing to do? What is your favorite color? Where did you grow up?
I love.
Beautiful.
Okay, how much do you know about astrology? And give us like your big three, your big six, whatever you know about yourself.
Well, because you are my best friends, I have been very fortunate to learn more from the best and most entertaining source, both on the web and in real life. So thank you for that. I know my big three, but I make Aubrey confirm the order of them near every time I say them out loud. We did this yesterday,
We
so
did do
thank
this
you to them
yesterday.
for getting me straight. I am a Leo, Virgo, Capricorn. So just really a ball of fun over here. I wish I
Okay,
knew
now I'm
the
questioning
rest.
it.
Virgo
you
moon or Virgo rising?
I feel like now I'm feeling like you're Virgo. I'm gonna look it up
I have
because
to look it
Thank
up.
you so much. Because I was going to
no,
ask you
because
to,
now that
but
I'm
I don't
saying
know
it
the
out
other
loud,
three.
I feel like you're not. I don't think you're a Capricorn rising. Okay, yeah, no, you're Virgo rising,
Okay.
Capricorn, Leo sun, Capricorn moon, Virgo rising.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also, okay, as you were doing your little intro, I was like, has to be a Leo Mercury.
Yeah.
And you are. So just like the way that you think and speak is also like so Leo. So you're
That
perfect.
makes sense. I think especially based on my little meeting that person for the first time anecdote and like someone just
Yeah.
watching me exist for a second.
Yes. And I think also like Mercury is also very like social media. And I think the way you use social media is also so Leo, like in a wonderful way.
Yeah.
Thank
I feel
you
like,
so much.
yeah. And I have a Sag Mercury too. And I feel like yeah, I feel like how we communicate is totally
Yeah.
just like, I mean, we literally communicate from our laptop and our phone on every app
Platform.
all
Yeah.
the time, you know?
Constantly. That's
Yeah.
so true. Whoa, that is like so crazy. And the match of the signs is really interesting in
Mhm.
that, like showing up the same way in real life as you do
Yeah.
online.
And
Hmm.
I have a what? A Capricorn Mercury. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Whoa.
it's like, which I think is just funny. And like the three of us, I saw a meme I almost sent you guys this morning that was like, that like little gif of Beyonce like looking at her phone and like kind of
Yeah.
like giggling at it. And it was like me when I'm like behind on the group chat, like adding reactions to like all of the messages. I feel like that's so me. I'm
Literally.
always just like,
Uh-huh.
yep.
That's so
Um,
funny. I love that. I was also thinking about this the other day because Danny and I's friend and coworker was like, you inspire me to post on Instagram
Oh
because you'd be
yeah.
posting. And I was like, it's because it's the Leo. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, attention, let's get it, baby.
Yeah. Okay, we've kind of covered some of this, but like, what do you know about being a Leo versus like, what do you feel like you see about Leo, like on the internet and stuff? Like, and do you align with those things?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like the like big obvious Leo things are like the confidence, like the energy of how you show up and kind of draw it back to you. That was like a more abstract description of it, I guess, which is like how I relate to it. I think it's like very being attuned to how people are perceiving you and then like
Mhm.
responding back to that, but in a way that is pretty natural. And I feel like that shows up in like social media and commonalities is like, again, being confident, being bold, being loud, being the center of attention, not shying away from attention. And I think that all of those things can be very true, but that for me, it's more so like that energy exchange. And like it's not always about like being like the brightest, shiniest thing in the room, but like being like a
The center
fixture
point.
or like,
Yeah.
yes, having a reason to be there, serving a purpose, like giving something back to what you're getting out of the situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
You're very much like, you're gonna like do the conversation starter. Like, you know exactly, like if you are with two people, you know exactly what they have in common, and you like know how to like bring that up in like a bold way and be like, see, and now you two can connect over this.
I literally did that
totally.
too yesterday. We were
Yes.
sitting at a dinner table and I was like, queer dating crises, go. Yeah.
Exactly. But in like a way that like is just so like welcoming and like warm.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is always the goal. So I am truly glad to hear that it is not like the tweaker energy that I fear lies beneath.
No. No.
Thank you. The compatible, like synergistic, same time no really did it for me.
Oh, no, I don't. I wouldn't say like a tweaker is not a word I would use to describe you, I don't think.
No.
It's not quite right. It's not nuanced.
I do think in learning from you that like the earth signs in my chart kind of balance that energy out a little bit, because I have noticed I do attract a lot of other Leos. Like I love a fellow Leo.
Yeah.
I know what to do in response to that energy, but a lot of the other Leos I know are like otherwise Leo heavy in their charts or water sign heavy in their charts, and like seeing how the rest of their personalities differ from mine in response to that energy exchange is really interesting.
I don't know if we talked about this earlier, like explicitly, but I feel like we talk about this about you. We've probably said it to you, but maybe if we haven't. But I feel like you like know, like I don't think you do it and like actually thinking that hard about it way, but like you know how to make people feel really good.
Yeah.
Like you give like really good compliments, but I think it's like it's kind of in a Leo way of like I think you know what like feels good. So you're like, no, I know how to like give that to other people kind of thing, which I think is also
That's
like
a
a
very
nice
thing.
but it's true.
Well, I think
it's like a nice Leo thing that doesn't come up in like pop astrology a lot. Like, but you know what? I think that's like a very nice side of Leo that
That is a
people
really
don't
good way
often say.
to put that. And I think that that's really true. Like Leos across the board, I think like hedonism isn't the right word, but there is like a like
pleasure,
attraction to like feeling good, like wanting that good energy, liking nice things, liking things to like look and feel a certain way. And I think that that like kind of comes across in that treat other people how you want to be treated, golden rule.
Totally.
Like you have a standard of expectation for what you would like to cultivate, but like you also understand that that requires something from you in exchange.
Yeah. I think also like since Leo is the sun, like obviously you are burning bright, but you're also like emitting light onto other people, which like just like the principles of light, like if you are standing like from the light source watching it point to other things, like you can really see other people, as opposed to like from like, you know, if you look at a light from the opposite direction, it's either like in your eyes, or if you're like behind another like something else, then it's like silhouette. But from your perspective, you can like see everyone, and you are your like kookiest, craziest self, so that like other people can be that too. And you're very much like, and why don't you?
That is so poetic
literally.
and beautiful. Wow. I love that so much. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you to do last night? I literally told you to send your location to somebody that you were trying to flirt with. And I was like, that's a completely normal thing to do. And then Aubrey asked my other friend who they were meeting for the first time, like, would you do this? And they were like, obviously never in my life.
I asked the Cancer.
Right, literally. First of all, I've never left my house before.
No, I wish I had been keeping a list of like all of the nuts things you have told me to say to someone. I was like trying to get someone. I was trying to get someone I I'm going on a date tonight with
Uh-huh.
me. I'm eyeballing. I was gonna text them last night to just be like, come
Yeah.
here, like if you're out and about kind of thing. And Bella was like, just say you're singing in T minus 30 minutes and send your location. Okay.
Singing here now. Drop it in.
Like, 'cause that's exactly what I would do. And then I was like, wait, that is occurring to me right now. That maybe that's not like advice for the masses. And then Aubrey asked a Scorpio as well.
Yeah,
Fellow
Yeah.
level-headed
we didn't go with
individual.
this.
No, there was some heavy workshopping, and obviously it worked out because you're going on a date tonight. But
yeah,
you know what happens in Leo's lives? I would have been on that date last night. It might have been midnight,
yeah.
but
And I respect that. I do. Yeah. And I did get a nice text back.
There you go.
like
and
very.
which like now we're just like getting too much into my personal life, but it's just like not that hard
No.
to turn down plans and make me feel like you wanted to. It would have
Yeah,
been
it would have been
nice
nice to be
to
there.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super easy.
I'm
So
also
easy.
laughing at a Leo like inviting someone to karaoke to see them sing. Like that's such
Yes.
a Leo thing. Like I'm performing here. Like,
Very,
okay, you're
like-
doing karaoke.
Yeah.
Come to my show. It's in 30 minutes and it's like karaoke. Like that's so good.
That is so funny and true because I did the same. Like the night started by me being like, I'm going two-stepping if you'd like to come and watch.
Right. No,
Yeah,
literally. And by the
literally.
end of the night, I'm on stage.
I have a dance recital at 5:30.
Earlier we were saying how like Regina George's mom is so Leo. And like literally I like Bella was dead ass Regina George's mom at me doing
Yeah, I
karaoke.
know. You got a
Yeah, you got the
5-minute
full
video. Which I
elbowed someone out
wanted,
of the way.
obviously. Thank
but
you.
she literally like tackled me when I got off stage and I like being like and I literally went, thanks, mom.
Totally.
I fully embarrassed you. I was crying. I elbowed someone out of the way. I turned around. I went, I'm so sorry, but that's my best friend. Took a 5-minute long video. I was trying to dance and sing, but I had to do like military stance, elbows tucked into my sides so it wouldn't shake, so that it could serve a purpose beyond just archival footage. Then I had to send it to Danny, but there were so many people in the bar that I couldn't send the 5-minute video. So I had to decide which half to prioritize to get it out. And then I had to stand there with my phone in the air like this to a Melissa Etheridge song. So
I really appreciate
the
all of that.
determination. You
It
had
needed
your
to happen.
sights set on something and you're not
You
going
got
to
it
stop
done.
until it's done.
No. And it was so beautiful. Performance of the night.
Of course.
I will say I would say strangers were stopping me.
No, the crowd
You
was
had
singing.
fans.
I could hear her. The crowd was in
Fans.
I
it.
had them. No, I had them.
Yeah.
And the like semi-cute bouncer told me on my way out, he was like, you ate no crumbs.
That's so kind.
That did happen. And earlier in the night, I had forced Aubrey to go close out my tab at the bar so that she could stand next to semi-cute bouncer and see if it was worth shooting a
And
shot
it
at.
wasn't. The song.
Yeah. Well, this was earlier.
Oh, okay,
We literally just saw like a fruity boy walk in, and I was like, well, where were they? I was, where were they when we were two-stepping? Because two-stepping was happening. I was like, I'm not seeing a lot of limp wrists around here, boys.
Yeah, but tell them who you caught.
Who did I?
A 75-year-old.
Oh, at two-stepping. Yeah, I did two-step with a 70-year-old man.
But a limp-wristed 70-year-old man.
Yeah, a little bit. It's true. Hey, it works.
So, manifestation does work. You just have to be specific.
It's so true.
It does. No, but the bouncer was not as cute as up close. I was like, never mind. But of course, on the way out, even though Bella's like, and did you see them perform? Was like, literally no. Well, maybe did you hear it? And he's like, I don't know. What did you sing? And I was like, Lady Gaga. And then he was like, Oh no. Actually, I did hear that. You ate no crumbs.
So
Wow,
good.
that's so crazy. I am a Delulu Leo because my recollection of events in that sequence would be we were walking out, you were looking dazzling, night air, blowing breeze inside the door. They were looking at you were looking at them. They were like, did you sing? I was like, did you hear them? Did you see them? They were like, maybe I heard them. What did you sing? You were like Lady Gaga. They were like, best performance I've ever seen in my entire life. No crumbs. 8. We should get married and run away into the sunset. And I was like, not right now. We have places to be. And then we left.
And
That's
a beautiful
also
story, you know?
You are. Should we talk about just like you are so like theatrical in your storytelling? I always really enjoy when I hear you tell a story that like I was there
Yeah.
and I hear you telling someone else and I'm like that is just literally not what happened. But you always tell a better story.
So much better.
I think of normal gossip every time I hear you tell a story because
It's like Bella's anonymized.
yeah,
I'm not a journalist.
You're a
No, you're
wonderful
not.
embellisher.
You're not a
Thank you
journalist.
so much. I am not a journalist. Life is meant to be enjoyed. If you're gonna tell a story, it should be
Make it
funny.
good.
Like,
No,
make
I
it good. If
agree.
you're gonna talk, make it interesting. And also, my thing is like, I would never embellish a death, a sickness, anything serious. Will I
There is
embellish
a line.
anything silly, fun,
Yeah.
sexy,
Yeah.
silly again? Yeah.
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 No, I totally get it. This is giving me like we were just talking about Caroline Calloway. It's like when we were talking to Caroline Calloway, people are so obsessed with like her truth, like what
Yeah.
is true. And I feel like when we were talking, I was like, who cares? Like, I don't care. I want to hear your story. And that's kind of how she was like, too. She was like, yeah, it's my fucking book. Like, this is what I think happened.
Just enjoy it.
This is read the fucking book. Enjoy the
I
story.
also like your truth, and this I think is very Leo too. Like, I feel like I've always known myself pretty intimately. Like, I've always had a close eye on who I am and like who I want to be and what the relationship between those things has been. But that has been 7,000 different shades of people in my
Yeah.
time on this earth. And I think that, like, with that, your truth obviously shifts and evolves and changes as your perspective and taste and everything else that goes into that do as well.
Mhm.
And being able to like have a step back from it and realize that like what was true on Tuesday might not be true on Thursday, or like your
Mhm.
memory or reaction to something or like the context around it has changed is like a whole separate
I
space
agree.
of consciousness and like existence that we don't think about ever.
It's very fire sign.
Should we get
Yeah.
into your dating history? Current signs. Who are you dating? What are you attracted to?
Yes, I am married to a Libra, which is a really funny combination. His birthday's on October 2nd. He's like a super Libra, very balanced. I don't remember what the
Yeah.
rest of his chart is, but he has a lot of it in it. Um, and yeah, like very level-headed,
Yeah.
very like of the facts, like what is the black and white, what's on the paper, and like how do we react to that in the least emotional and baggage fueled way possible. And I'm like, here's every thought and feeling I've ever had and how I think it applies to what I showed her at Shake Shack today.
Which
I
is
think that's
beautiful.
Thank you. I think so too. Actually, this is a tangent, but one that is sort of relatable, and I don't think I've told either of you yet. But when I was in Texas, I I had like just a really Leo slash Isabella time, like daisy chain of good people meeting all sorts of like random interesting strangers. Was at this like cool vintage cowboy boot warehouse and was hanging out with the guy and hit it off. And he's like, let's go across the street and get a coffee. And we went across the street and he ordered a snack from the barista. And she was like, would you like anything with your fries? And he was like, yes, mayonnaise, please. And I was like, oh, so gross. And she was like, do you not like mayonnaise? And I was like, no, like something about just like knowing how it's made and like what the process is so scary to me. And then her and I started talking about all sorts of condiments for like 10 minutes. And there's this whole line of people behind us. And this guy I never met was standing right next to me, like not knowing what to do or like how to interrupt or like make the situation stop. But like she was obviously not bothered. And I was definitely not bothered. And then the people behind us were like sort of starting to get involved and give their take on the mayonnaise and french fries situation. And then like everybody who was there for like their like lunchtime coffee, whatever, was suddenly like standing in a semicircle being like, would you eat mayonnaise with french fries? Do you think that that's weird?
Oh, that poor
That's
dude.
so funny. I would probably. I support him.
Yeah.
That makes him feel any better for today.
I'll let him know. I think that at least like 2 of the 8 people that I implicated in this situation were pro mayonnaise. So
There you go.
Do you
decent
know
amount.
any signs of past people you've dated?
Yes. My like other more serious relationship was with a Gemini, whose birthday was 666, which I thought was so cool when I was
Really?
19.
Obviously.
And that was really funny because I really truly did feel like we got along a solid 50% of the time. Like we rode the line.
That tracks.
And the side that we got along on was like so good. Like we had like so much fun, like vibes were high, but then like the rest of it was like just a disaster. So I do think that was like an interesting give and take. And then I've been attracted to a lot of Scorpios, which I think is interesting because my mom is a Scorpio and we're really close and like have very similar high confrontation communication styles, which I
Yeah.
think that like especially growing up with that dynamic has made me like in a romantic capacity. I obviously have exposed myself to be very direct. So like getting that back right away and like having the confirmation bias is like, okay, now we don't have to waste our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
What about friendships? What signs are you besties with?
I
Besides
do,
Aquarius and Sagittarius.
well, obviously, that's where I was going to begin. I do holistically like love a fire sign. I really find myself surrounded by them more often than not. And especially as I get older, I think that when I was younger, I had a lot of Pisces friends. Like all of my best friends throughout childhood were Pisces. My best friend, like since childhood, who is still my best friend, is a Pisces. But like now I'm always like when I meet someone, and especially making adult friends, it's not like that slow burn of like you've sat next to them in
Yeah.
school for 9 months and now you're like kind of talking. Like you kind of like meet them, you feel out the energy, and then it's like something you pursue or don't. And I find that like the things that I'm pursuing, like the people that I'm like, oh, I would love to see you again, oftentimes fire signs, chasing the high.
Yeah, literally.
Absolutely. Someone that can keep up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly right. I love a little banter. Like if you can have quick conversation with me and like make me laugh, I will follow you off a
Cool.
bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to know?
I don't think so. I think this is lovely.
Yeah, you've been a delight.
Thank you so much. Would love to come back. Call me anytime. I'll give you my agent's details.
Perfect.
Perfect.
We will.
Well, we'll see you for dinner later.
Okay, see you
All right.
later.
Can't wait. See you in about
Thanks
2
for
hours.
calling.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye. And now we're going to hear from some of the listeners who have dated Leos. So we put a call out in our Google Forms and on Instagram. So I'll start there. We just asked if anyone had dated a Leo before and what their experience was like. Our first listener said, "I'll never recover." Someone else said, "Yes, it was very fun and passionate, just not stable enough for a life together." I think that's super fair. Someone said, "I woke up from a nap and he yelled at me that I didn't clean his room. His mess from before I got there."
Okay.
Okay. This okay. Want to unpack that or just leave?
you know, a lot of people hate women on this earth.
Exactly. It's giving entitlement.
Yeah.
This one is my favorite, I believe. Nope. But my uncle Marcus turns 56 soon and is so flirtatious with people. Love that. Go Uncle Mark.
I would love to meet him.
Someone else said Scorpio stellium, and I have been dating a Leo stellium for almost 4 years. I love it. Beautiful.
That fixed energy.
Totally.
They're locked in.
They are locked in. And then we have just a quick, another quick bit from Google Forms.
Love.
This listener said, just got dumped by my Leo boyfriend because he wants to cheat. Broke up with me before he let himself fall in love and needs to work on himself because he can't give me what I deserve. Which I just feel like goes back to what I said earlier about the reality show men.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like someone on Love Island.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, like these are real people. And maybe that's something that like the Leo man is just so interesting to me. Like,
yeah.
To me, he's a character on a reality show, but he lives in our world just as a person.
No, that's so true.
Like every time and I watch a dating show, we're like, we got to get him on here. And he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would be so good at it because I feel like that's how he acts in the world.
I think it's like, you know, as all things, I think it could come down to like patriarchy, misogyny of like people that are not men who are Leos are allowed to be like theatrical and like silly goofy and like more creative in their expression. And like maybe Leo men, like they are extravagant, but like only as Ken.
Yeah.
Like they can only like, you know, they only know how to be drama from Love Island.
Like in a romantic.
Kind of, right? I feel like I'm not like.
No, I know what you're saying. Or like, I guess also that energy is like not necessarily like warm, if that makes sense. Like we were just saying with Bella, like she's very like big energy, but it's in a very warm way. It's almost just like, yeah, like that loud guy or that guy that like has to get the girl or has to be the like the star of the thing. But it's like not necessarily like, I don't think they would think of like how that could be like welcoming or nurturing or, and again, it doesn't always have to be that. Like not everyone has to be about everyone else all the time, but you know what I mean? Like there's like, something there.
It's almost like there's like less intention. I mean, like of course, like men just are not taught in our society to like think about other people.
Yeah.
And so I think there's like less intention of like, how can I use who I am in this big way to like shine light onto other people, to make other people feel warm and welcome in my environment. It's just like
me.
It's all about me, and you're gonna have a great time loving me.
Yeah, totally.
And we are.
Yeah.
But yeah,
totally.
There's definitely a nurture difference.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay, so like we have a friend who's a Leo, and just like I would say like yeah, like means really well.
Yes.
Like
so well.
Means so well. Like a really nice guy. But like he would just like always like talk to us about like his relationship and like just like constant the trials and the tribulations. You know what I mean? Like, but like also like I guess too like would do like take her on like really nice trips, and like there was that grandioseness that we were talking about earlier,
and like so like so loyal in his own way,
but like I would say. in his own meaning of loyal, I would say. And but like literally would like be like telling us like all this shit and like all these kind of like dumb fuck shitty like boyish things to do, and then literally was at the end was like, I think I should be a relationship coach. And we literally, no. Like, just like, but that, like, again, like that, like kind of like, yeah, like a little delusion, I guess. And you're like, okay, like, I love that you think that this is going so well, but you just talked to us about, like,
we're horrified,
the most,
babe.
yeah, like,
we're
chaotic
horrified.
situation that you are in for, like, the last 20 minutes, and you think you have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, not that we do, but you don't. Have you ever dated a Leo?
I can't think of who. I don't think so. Have you?
Not really, like, dated, but, well, I guess we went on a date. The artiste.
Oh, well, of course.
I guess this
very
is a good
much.
story.
Yeah, it is. And, like, very much someone that's just, like, everything kind of does seem to be revolving around him.
Totally. He's a super talented artist, which is very Leo. And, like, someone who I wouldn't say necessarily, yeah, like, comes off as, like, self-centered. But, like, I really do think he's one of those people who, like, could be single his whole life because he, like, kind of thinks that, like, I don't even think, like, thinks about the fact that someone else could be a part of his life, if that makes sense. But famously, the first time we went on a date, it was the night before his 30th birthday. I feel like I've told this story so many times before because I said that line so, like, that line came out too fucking smooth.
Yeah.
It was the night before his 30th birthday, which also is like, why are we on a first date? Like, I don't know. I think looking back, it's like, that seems like maybe time you would, like, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he had other plans, I guess. But, like, you know what I mean? Doesn't that seem like
like I
something
certainly wouldn't go on a first date that night for me. I won't be.
We did, like, know each other before. Like, it's not like we didn't know each other, but we weren't, like, friends or anything.
Was
like,
it
it's
like,
not like we were close.
Wait, was it like at midnight he was turning 30?
Yes.
What day of the week? Do you remember?
It had to have been. Maybe it was a Thursday or Friday.
Okay. Interesting.
I didn't have to work the next day.
Weird for Leo to not be like, my birthday is a big deal, right?
Well, like, I knew about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just feel like that's, like, a weird thing to do on
you
first
have,
date.
like, plans with your friends. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways.
Not the point of the story.
We literally drank so much. We had, like, a pitcher of margaritas at one location. Then we go to the bar. He's like, I just turned 30, like, bar across the street. I just turned 30. So then we're like, literally took so many shots. We were both so fucked up. Like, I mean, it was like, I would have been embarrassed if he wasn't also so drunk, you know what I mean? But he was, like, super drunk too. And then we, like, walk back to his place. I fall asleep, pass out. I'm sure we hooked up. But then I fall asleep, which I never do ever because I live at home and my mom gets very concerned with my location, especially, like, being on a first date.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I woke up to thousands of messages. My best friend was also living with us at the time, so she's calling me. My mom's calling me. My dad's like, your mom is pissed. Where are you? Your mom's freaking out. My phone had died. I had 2 phones at the time. Both phones are, like, blown up with messages. I'm like, fuck. So I literally am like, oh my God, I'm coming home. I'm fine. My mom was so mad. I wake up. I'm, like, still drunk, so I can't stop laughing. I get home, I, like, can't, like, I was like, my mom was so mad. I mean, they were obviously, like, I feel like now as an older adult, like, I would be sick.
Yeah.
Like, if my daughter
horrifying.
went on a date with a guy that I didn't really know who he was, like, I would be so sick. And I don't feel bad about it because it's fine. Like, we've all moved on. But I'm like, I mean, I didn't mean to do it, I guess, either in the first place.
At the time, we were like, whatever.
Yeah, but, like,
silly fun evening.
Yeah,
but no,
like,
now
no,
it's like,
oh my God,
I
would
terrifying.
Literally would be sick, and she was. So now that makes me feel bad, obviously. My dad DM'd him.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of this story.
I almost forgot, Aubrey. My dad DM'd him.
Yeah, that's like the main.
That's the part.
That's the main point of the story for me.
Because I did tell them like who I was going out with. So my dad DMs him and literally just was like, "Hey, like, are you with Danny? Do you know where she is?" Like, just like literally,
nice,
because I'm sure my mom was like freaking out and was like, "You have to reach out to this guy or whatever." So like literally my friend texted me, or my mom maybe said, "Your dad DM'd him on Instagram." So then like my mom, once everyone knows I'm okay, they're like, unsend the message.
Yeah, like,
so
oh
like
no.
my friend goes into my mom like gives, my dad's phone to like log in, unsend the DM. So like we don't know if he ever saw it or if it was just like gone. I never brought it up, obviously. And yeah, that happened. And then that summer I met his parents twice.
Yeah.
Which is also just like weird lore.
Just like in passing.
Literally in passing. Like I think he had a 30th birthday party, maybe like the next weekend or something. And I did go. But it was just one of those things. He was like it was just like kind of weird. Like once I got to his party, he was like, "I have vegetarian food here. There's like a chef." Like he was like a really nice, it was just like a weird thing. Like he was such a nice guy, but like he definitely didn't like me. You know what I mean? In any kind of like romantic way. I don't know. But like it was just like interesting, like that kind of like thoughtful. Like you didn't have to like pull me aside and take me to like the food I could eat at your 30th birthday party. That's like there's 100-something people there. You know what I mean? But he was like very nice in that way. And I met and then he introduced me to his parents. My friend is dancing with his mom literally all night.
Love.
It was so funny. And then literally like 2 weeks later, me and that same friend are walking out of work. And literally in front of the store we worked at, him and his parents get out of an Uber, like on the wrong block. Like they were trying to get out at our store. And then we're, "Hi," like again, like it was just so strange.
Yeah.
So it's one
very
of the,
like very connectors. Of people,
literally like
just
one of those things where you're like, "Oh
yeah.
my God, like what is this?" But yeah, I feel like we like maybe hooked up like 1 or 2 more times. But it was just like so like, he was like just like, yeah, I just feel like he was definitely like not looking for anything, and I've never really ever seen him like date anyone. I don't follow him anymore, but like I don't remember like over the course of when we did keep up and stuff, like just like an interesting.
Yeah, there was never like a girly on the Instagram.
No. Yeah, it was just like, it's just about his art and the hustle.
I love that for him, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds healthy almost.
Yeah. Just like it, not in a bad way, just it is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Like I feel like it's almost like the flip of like the reality show character of like that same kind of Leo guy where you're like, I couldn't even like, who could even match this?
Apparently no one.
Yeah, apparently no one.
Leos. I have a new friend that's a Leo, and they are so like, they're very like mayoral. Like literally will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
In like such an impressive way.
Yeah.
Like could just like is so like wanting and willing, could start conversation with like literally anybody anywhere at any time.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. And especially as someone that doesn't like to small talk.
Yeah.
Oh, I love just getting to ride that wave.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm very like outgoing and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
like
I'm just,
if there's
like,
a topic, I'll talk. But yeah, I'm not starting it.
Yeah, I was like talking to someone about this recently. Like it's for me to talk to someone, I like really need to know that I'm gonna get like a net positive from the interaction.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
But they just like anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Right.
Maybe this could be someone that we need to know. I'm like, I love that about you.
Yeah, that's nice.
What else? I guess I used to like crush on a Leo pretty hard, who is just like crazy girl.
Yeah, I just have a lot of Leo friends, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess my boyfriend has a Leo moon.
Yeah, that's true.
which I think is so interesting. I think it's like something he really needs to embody more.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's also like he's a middle child, so I think like that Leo energy just does not come naturally to him.
Yeah.
But he's obviously like very creative,
Mm-hmm.
and I do feel like we have like when we like we'll like literally like sit down at like 10 o'clock at night and like both paint and stuff. And I do feel like that's such like a, for our Leo moons, I feel like that's such a nice thing. Like we do a lot of like creative stuff, but like if we just do like a for fun like crafter activity, like I always am just like, oh, look at our little Leo moon selves.
That's so
expressing
nice.
themselves.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like definitely when I'm feeling more Aquarius, I could like really click with a Leo.
Yeah, totally.
When I'm like on that level, me and Leo's like hit. But then I do think like if I'm feeling more like Taurus, Scorpio.
Yeah.
Maybe not even because obviously Scorpio is also fixed. But definitely when I'm feeling more like Taurus, I can be a little bit like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm
like
just
I can't
gonna
right
let
now.
you be the center of attention. Like I really don't have the energy for this.
Yeah.
I can't stroke your ego. Like, and I'm not gonna fight to participate in this interaction at all because like
Right.
you've got it covered, babe.
Yeah. No, totally.
Compatibility.
Yeah.
So fun.
It is so fun.
I think that's our episode.
Yeah.
Another great one, if I do say so
Another
myself.
banger. I almost said like I don't know if I ever said that before.
I don't think you have either. But yes, it was another banger.
I think so.
We ate 4 + 4. Eight with no crumbs.
Hey.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for, the rest of the signs. Share
We're
with your
almost
friends.
halfway.
Follow us on all the socials. And write into us. We want to hear from you.
Bye, sluts.
Bye.